Okay, so take things live. I'll just run a small intro video first. Okay, all good, all set, Pooja. Yep. I'll just add you back to the screen once the intro is done. Okay, the video is done. Yeah. Hey, hi, good evening, everyone. So we are back again. I'm Prasad. I'm the co-founder of LetsUpgrade, and we have a special guest today, Pooja Bhaumik, who is a Google Developer Expert for Flutter and also a Devrel for FlutterFlow. So she is going to lead the whole session today. But before we move on anything into the session, I would like to know from all of you guys which city, state, which location you guys are joining from. And first of all, yeah, are you guys able to hear us and see us very clearly? Can I have a quick confirmation in the chat? Hi Shruti, hi Harshit. Can we be a little quick in the chat? I hope you guys are able to see the video smoothly. We have Nepal, Jaipur, Lahore, Kerala. Great, great, great. Okay. So let's keep this space going in the chat, right? So today Pooja is here with us for a special session that we have arranged with FlutterFlow, and it is about building an amazing app with Dreamflow, and she's going to take you through the whole process. Yeah. So Pooja, yeah, over to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Prasad. Hi, everyone. I am Pooja Bhaumik, and I am going to be having a very exciting session with you all. I don't know if you know Dreamflow. I don't know if have used our previous products, FlutterFlow or not. I do not know yet a lot about you, so I'll first do that. Let me know in the chat if you are coming from a Flutter background, like you have used Flutter in your previous projects or something. So let's see. Say yes if you have used Flutter. Okay, not yet. Some of you say yes. Okay. Raise your hands if you have used like FlutterFlow before. So you can just say FlutterFlow in the chat if you have used FlutterFlow. Okay, somebody's using one of it in their live project. I do not know if they're talking about Flutter or FlutterFlow right now, but say if
Maybe
FlutterFlow if you've used FlutterFlow. Yeah, sorry.
what we can do is chat. What you can do is, if you want to say in agreement of what we say, just spam the chat with purple hearts. That is something these guys follow at Flutterflow. Yep. So
Yeah,
purple hearts it is. So I'll just start
purple
it.
is our
So you,
color.
'guys- 'Color. Yeah. 'Color. 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 '
Okay.
So yep, this is the one. And just okay, is the session started? Yes, we have started. Please
Okay,
explain what is.
some of you are like asking what is FlutterFlow. Some people have created projects in Flutter. Some of them are Flutter devs. And I see the purple hearts, which means that some of you have used FlutterFlow before because that's our color. um, all right. Have you ever used Dreamflow before? I mean, it's a very new product, so I don't know if all of you have heard of it or used it. So have you used Dreamflow? Say yes now. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's why you're here. And if you are someone who has never built a product before, but you're interested in building one, like put it on the channel if you're a builder, you want to be a builder, or you have been a builder, or that's what your goal is. Just put, say in the chat, builder. I see a lot of yeses or nos. I do not know which part of the question you're saying yes to. Okay, I see a builder, builder. Yes, that's great. So I'm very excited to talk about how we can actually build today, and using one of the products to build even faster mobile apps. So I think, Prasad, shall we start?
Yes, we are good to go. I guess more students are joining. Meanwhile, so a great time to start here.
Awesome.
So for the folks having any questions regarding FlutterFlow, stick around. So there's a lot of free time that we'll have since we are using GenAI to build products. So Pooja will take your questions in the whole time, right?
Yes.
So just hold on to your questions. I'm just seeing and noting a few meanwhile.
So we'll be starting the session now. We can now
Let's just add.
switch to,
Yeah, should I add your
yes.
screen?
Yeah, let's share my screen. Yes. All right. So I think you can see my screen now. Hi, everyone. I am Pooja Bhaumik. I have been working with the Flutter framework since 2018 now, so it's been a lot of years. And since 2.5 years, I have been working with FlutterFlow as a developer advocate. And I've been working on tools like FlutterFlow and Dreamflow. These are two of the products that this company has. And I'll be talking about, kind of talking about the comparison of both as well, but also we will be building a product with Dreamflow today to see if you can build something for your own startup, or if you are a builder, you want to get your app into the market soon. So maybe Dreamflow could be one of that product, right? All right. So I don't know if you ever worked with any mobile frameworks, but there's an entire era that happened with a mobile development, right? For example, the first comes with are the traditional IDEs. So if you have ever used or heard about VS Code, Android Studio, these are the IDEs that we would were using for building traditional mobile apps. I mean, the time that I come from, or I started mobile apps, I had also used Eclipse, and that I do not know if it exists anymore or not. But yeah, it is not a very easy tool to start with, but this is how we started building mobile apps with. Next, we have low-code tools, which is FlutterFlow. So FlutterFlow is like there are other tools as well with FlutterFlow that are also low-code, but mainly the idea is that it's a visual development platform where you can use drag and drop and visual logic building to build apps. Even integrations to Firebase or Superbase is also visually done in the platform. So you don't need to have a lot of coding experience to actually build apps with such tools. But it also the reason why it's low code, it's because you can also write Flutter code if needed, if you want to, build something complex that FlutterFlow does not support today. Next, I don't know how many of you have used Cursor recently. So agentic AIs like IDEs like Cursor. Has anyone used Cursor? Say yes. Have you heard of Cursor? Okay. I'm guessing. I don't know. I know it's hard to like get a lot of answers from the chat. But do you like Cursor? What do you like about Cursor IDE? A lot of you have used Cursor, so you do know, the whereabouts of the IDE and how easy it makes you to build apps with an agentic IDE. All right. Next, we have in the era tools which are Flutter IDs. Now, there are a lot of pros and cons with all these approaches, and we're going to talk about all of them. And we're also going to talk about how the current era of mobile development helps us, and what are we going to gain from it, and what our dev workflow looks like today. So first, let's talk about the traditional IDs. I do not know if anyone has here used them or not, but the reason why we definitely liked it because it had given us full control over code access. So the entire code base you could edit it traditionally because there was no other tools to edit code at that point of time. But also you could also have access to the debugging tools or the testing tools that these IDEs provided, which normal text editors would not provide, right? So that's why the IDE used to give us the full experience of how you could debug your apps or test your apps and preview, etc. However, the problem was that it was limited to technical people only, because it took a lot of time to get used to the product, and of course, building features in such traditional IDEs, the iteration cycle used to be really long. That used to probably take like 2-3 weeks to just build one feature, right? Then came the new part of the era, which are low-code tools like FlutterFlow. The good thing is that now the barrier to coding was removed, and anyone could actually build apps, right? So non-technical users can also build apps, and we have so many non-coders who have shipped their apps through FlutterFlow and have a big revenue building business right now through using FlutterFlow, which is great, and it's so nice to see that. But even if there are any coders who come on this platform, the great part is that there are not a lot of boilerplate code, like you don't have to write all the boilerplate code yourself. You just have to focus on the meaty code, which is like the complex features that you're actually working on. But it also had some limited flexibility, and customization at some point could have been limited as well. We do have custom code in FlutterFlow, but there were certain things where we were getting limited by. One of the big reasons why we also were limited in this new era of agentic development is that FlutterFlow would create an abstract layer for the architecture, and AI models would not really understand this in this abstract layer, right? So even adding AI features would also become difficult in this structure as well. But it's still a great product for anyone who's building, who does not want to build with any code and they want to build with drag and drop UI, visual, etc. Then comes the new era starting last year, which is the agentic IDEs like Cursor. Now, what this is a basically a fork of VS Code, and they added the agentic experience into it, so you could just talk to your code base, which is so great because early on we used to like go to ChatGPT and say that, hey, I have this problem in my code, fix it. But ChatGPT has no idea about your code base, right? So code base context was something that was really revolutionary when this came in, and it made engineers really fast in building their features, because with just single prompts you could build like an entire feature done in, I don't know, like few minutes. So it was really great to see how Cursor kind of changed, transformed how we were building apps. However, Cursor works for every framework, right? It every language, every framework. It works great for websites and website frameworks, but I feel like it has such a weak ecosystem for mobile development or visual building, right? Like, for example, if I am building a Flutter app in Cursor and I just want to change one button color, but I have no idea where that button is. I know that this is in this particular screen, but I do not know how to read Flutter code, right? I just want to change the button color from blue to red and blah, blah. But for that, I have to use a prompt, which is again costing me money. And that is what we were losing out on with Cursor, because it supports everything. So it does not have an ecosystem for a specific development workflow, right? So visual building is something that is being solved by IDEs that are built for Flutter. And what it has currently is that you can Dreamflow, which is built for Flutter and is like it allows you to access the entire code base of your Flutter application. So you, if you feel like you are a coder and you know that I know exactly where to change my button color, I can go into that code and change it directly, right? Or if you want to build a feature and you want the agentic experience like Cursor, you can also build features through prompts in this IDE. And then, of course, at any point, if you feel like you want to visually change something, then we also have visual editors and widget trees, etc., in this platform, so you can build faster without costing, age like credits for your prompts and stuff. We're obviously going to talk more about it, but let me first show you the platform first. And while we are talking about the rest of the features of this platform, I want to make sure that I start a project from a prompt. So while it's building, we don't have to wait too long, and we can talk while for the other things. So I was thinking in this demo, we can just build something that where we can show how authentication can be done. We can show how maybe we use the features of the app, like I was thinking of like a meditation player app where we have a bunch of screens. Suppose I may have some Figma screens that I want to ask the AI to actually replicate. I would show that, maybe a bit of subscription logic. So if you want to earn something from your app, how would you build the subscription logic as well? I mean, not everything can be done in this entire session, but I will try to show you some of the parts, so it's easier for you to like work on top of it, right? So what I was thinking is that I have few screens that so this is the main homepage that you will see, where you can create a new project, which is a completely bare bone Flutter project. You can also start from a template. So we have three templates right now, which is the AI chat template. You want to try a dashboard, suppose, right? So this is already built for you. You can just use this template to start a new project. um, or you can also just created with a prompt. So that is what I will be doing today. I will be creating a meditation app from a prompt. But this is the screens that I was going for. So right now, let's just see how we build like just three screens to start with. One is your the onboarding screen. So you know, just for the user to onboard into the app, the home page, and then you have later on we'll have the subscription page as well. So let's see. I actually missed one of the screens, but yeah, I'll just show you. So this is the player, the one, the player app. Then we have this thing, and right. Okay. So I did three screens right now. This is the player screen. This is the home page, and this is the onboarding screen. So let's assume that this was built by your designer in Figma or something, right? And let's say that um, create a meditation app and with the following screens. Okay. So I'll just mention the screens as well. So first is onboarding screens as per, okay, let's say create a meditation app as per the screenshots. Even though they do have access of the screenshot anyway, I will just mention it. Onboarding screens for user for asking questions about the user's meditation journey. Next, we have the home page. And if you see, the home page has like colorful cards with a play button. So home page with different gradient colored cards with a play button that goes to the player screen. And next, lastly, we have the player screen. So player screen with a gradient background. So if you see, this has a gradient background and it's the same color of the card, gradient background. That is the same color as the list item or card item, whatever. Some more information we could give is that use audio players package for the player's screen. So it will already have the logic for playing music, right? I can also say use provider package for state management. All right. So I've given as much information I could. I do not know what's it gonna create, but let's just hope. But whatever we have, we'll try to fix. We'll try to add more features and stuff like that, right? So just to show how the first, once you've created a prompt, how it kind of looks like, what is it actually doing? It'll first create like few tasks here. So for example, first it will create the app architecture, right? It will define navigation flow. So it will create an entire architecture for you based on the prompt that you have given. Then it will add a required dependencies that I've already mentioned in my prompt that, hey, use this audio player dependency and provider dependency. It will create few data models for the meditation classes and stuff like that. It will then create the UI screens and then add the app logic like navigation or um, playing logic, like playing music logic as well, right? And then finally, it will generate the project for you. So let's wait for it to generate while I finish some of the slides that what does Dreamflow have, right? So we are we are basically in the goal of making sure that you can build mobile apps faster. Like all the tools that we have seen today, they create great websites, right? And they create fast websites, But I feel like, a lot of businesses still run on mobile apps. So we need a way to build mobile apps and faster, and also a way that it does not require too much of coding, because we are way past that era, right? This is the era of agentic workflows. So definitely, this is the idea of this platform. And as I said, you can have three different surfaces to interact with. One, you can interact with the agent, you can interact with the visual editors, and you can also interact with the code editor directly. Next, we I will obviously show you all of this in the platform as well, but it already has a properties editor. So if you have ever used FlutterFlow, you will already familiar with a property editor, because you click on a widget and, for example, text widget, right? So when you click on text widget, it shows up on the right side that you can change the font size, you can change the font weight, you can change the font color. All of this, it's kind of like a form, right? You can just like fill up the form and then the UI changes. Similarly, we have the same thing, a properties editor, which is much more advanced in Dreamflow. What I really love about Dreamflow and compared to other tools is that here context can also be visual. So you can just pick up a widget, a UI element from your screen, and you can add it to the agent directly without you having to take a screenshot, right? So it is pretty easy that you can just have this uh, UI element, you right click on it, you add to agent, and now it's part of your agent text box, so agent knows what you're actually referring to. So you don't have to create your own screenshots, and like that's obviously a little bit more messier process. And of course, you can inspect the UI while you're working on the preview itself. And you can also see what is breaking in the app. Because when I actually show you the live preview, you will notice that it's actually running the app in the platform itself. So if you are coming from FlutterFlow world, like there's no test mode here, because it is running the app in the platform while you're changing some code, right? So you can also see if something broke, and I'm sure throughout the session we are going to break a lot of things. So we will see how it actually shows up. You can also integrate easily with Firebase and Supabase currently. And you can push to web and app stores directly from Dreamflow itself. Okay, let's see. Coming back, I guess that, yeah, I guess we can now build if this is ready. So if you see this now, this is still generating, but if you see all the files that is are generated, it has a view generated files. I can see, okay, it is creating all the code. Now you have access to all the code that is being generated. So if you are a coder yourself, you can even see if the logic is correct or not. Nice. Okay. While it's generating, okay, I will see if anything's up on the chat. It does
There was
not
one.
make any. Yeah, sorry.
There was one question that was there. Like I can see they want to export the code directly. So
Hmm. Yes, you can. So you can definitely export the code, just download the code base as well. In the future, we will also have Git integration, so that way you can export it to GitHub directly, and then have your own workflow. But for now, you can just download the code base when it's ready. Yeah.
So one thing, guys, if you might have noticed when Pooja was prompting, is that you should be very clear with the idea of what your app needs to do, rather than just
Yeah.
giving it a vague prompt. Because this is all with the AI platform that we have explored. You have to be very crystal clear of what your needs are, what is that you want it to look like, and gather references. And I guess then you should be good to go for the first draft. We have someone adventure guy. He's working on his own app. So if you don't mind, could you just let us know in the chat what is that kind of app that you're building? So there's one question for you, Pooja, I guess, from Naveen.
Yeah.
So he's asking,
Naveen.
Naveen,
Hello. My first. This one. My first year last semester.
pursuing first year, yeah.
But yes, a degree from university, preparing for my final exam, aspiring to be a good Android app developer right now. Any tips? Okay. I can I don't know if it's relevant to Dreamflow right now or building apps, but I mean I can go on and on about tips and all that, but I don't think we want to use that in this session. Um to show, I didn't show, but we are using a bunch of models in the platform itself. Right now, the model that I used was auto, which means it automatically decides the model. But I don't know if I can show in a different. So here right now you can also use a GB5 or Claude Sonnet 4. The auto was basically it decided itself that what the best agent is for you. Okay.
So one more thing, guys, I will spam the chat for you guys to create your account and get started. Please ensure that you have a idea of what you want to build before you start building. So you get around, I guess, 10 credits, right, Pooja, for the free tree?
Free tier is 10 credits. I also would love to show in the end. Right now, we were launched live on Product Hunt, and there's like 50% off to whoever uses that Product Hunt code. So I can just drop that link right now, and you can
Yeah.
grab it. Um, Whatever the price is, will be 50% off. So let me see if we can find that.
So there's one question: how does state management work here?
So
So I guess that.
I will show you the state management here. I told the prompt itself to use provider state management. I could have said it to use some other state management as well. So you can basically, if you feel like you want a certain state management to be used, you can do that. And yeah, you basically it will generate based on that. Okay, we are finally in the last. It will now compile the project, and hopefully we can just build something fast from it after the project is created. I mean, honestly speaking, this thing also used to take weeks for a lot of people at some point, and right now it takes 5 minutes, which is a great change transformation for sure. Okay, we are at compile code. So
So there's one ongoing question that we see, Pooja, like, is it a good time to start learning Flutter? So that is a ongoing debate that's always there with all
hmm
development, right? Development. So there's one question in the chat.
yeah.
So is it a good time to start Flutter now?
I mean, honestly speaking, it depends what you need to, what your career, how you want to see your career. If you're learning Flutter because you want to be a software engineer in Flutter, that's a different thing. Yes, you should learn Flutter if you want to build mobile apps with software engineering, keeping that in mind. But again, if you want to build apps, that is your goal. You want to be a startup. You want to just build apps. Then the framework that works best for you, in this case, why Flutter works best for some people is that you can build Android, iOS, Linux, Mac OS, web, all these five platforms through one code base written in Flutter and Dart, right? So if that's your goal, that hey, you want to reach to more number of users through one single code base, Flutter is the right framework for you. Now again it depends, like if it's a different kind of use case, we will probably, you can suggest a different framework for that. So honestly it depends. It can't be a blanket answer that yes or no type of thing, right?
So another question: is Java best or Flutter to start?
I mean, Java works great for backend devs. They still use it. Flutter is for mobile devs. So I don't know. This is not a comparison, I guess.
So guys, just like see, the thing is in technology, you're not going to change languages every day or every week, right? New things will keep on coming. So you have to stick to something that you really like something that if you are asked to code around 4 a.m. in the morning, you should be ready to code. So find something, and I believe you would choose Flutter over Java for that for sure. So
Yeah, it totally depends on, a lot of factors. It can't be like a yes or no for sure. Okay, we're finally starting the app, and I have no idea what it's going to create. So let's just hope for the best because these demos are really interesting. I don't know if anybody who saw the Meta demo yesterday and what happened to Mark Zuckerberg on the demo thing, but
yeah.
yeah, it's always really interesting when you rely on tools that are not governed by human beings. So
So what's the difference between Dreamflow and FlutterFlow? Okay, we have a demo. We'll come to that question. It's a good question. Pooja will take it up later.
yeah, I thought I did answer it in the beginning. I don't know if this person was there. Okay, let's show the platform now. We are ready.
So you
So
can
this is
just
how
zoom
the
a bit.
platform looks.
Pooja, if you can zoom a bit because people in the
Yes.
stream, yeah. Just for the center screen, if you can zoom, it would be great.
I will remove these things.
Yeah,
And now, yes, okay. All right.
yeah.
So this is how the platform looks like, where I'm currently on light mode just so that it's easy for everyone to see. I don't know if you want me to go into dark mode, but let me know. All right. So this is a live preview of the app that was just generated for you. So let's see how this looks like. I'll see if there's a light mode for this as well. Okay. Not bad in terms of design. Okay, that looks really nice. It actually did follow at least the design of the home page. Let me see if I can play. Okay, that's pretty nice as well. Let's play something. And it probably broke during the playing. I don't think it has an audio file right now. Okay. All right. So you see, this is the platform looks like. It actually generated a meditation app for you, and I mean, it's a very popular category as well. Like a lot of headspace, and these are something that people are actually building, right? So we will see how we can, change some features here, add some features here as well, fix the bugs as well, and then have something ready with whatever time we have. So let's see. Okay, all right. I want to show you here. There are a bunch of tools here, which is this is the widget tree. What I think if you're coming from FlutterFlow, you might have seen this widget tree before. If you come from Flutter, you definitely know this. What happens is that it shows you the entire UI structure in a parent-child relationship, right? So here, scaffold is the main page. You have the app bar, which is the good evening and this thing. Then you have a stack with a list view, the track. Now, when I click on it, I do not know exactly what it's talking about, right? In this screen. That's where we could do an inspect mode, which is like you enable in your preview. And now, if you see, you can interact with all your elements, and the widget tree will show you exactly where it is. So here, if I have this, it will jump to so there is a mini player bar, etc. So how, if you really feel like, hey, this particular UI, I do not know where it is in code, I do not know where it is in widget tree, but I know exactly where it is in the UI, right? So I will just click on this, and it will show me exactly where this element is, right? Now, this is great to know from a visual representation of your UI. But if you are someone who has coding experience and you want to change something in code, right? You also have this split view. I'm going to close this. So, this is the split view, which shows you the code for this screen as well. So now when I click on this icon button, it shows me where in the code this icon button is. If I have this play and I'm like, okay, I want to say play music, okay, and I save the file. And now if you see, it changed in the live preview directly. But again, I don't want to mess with the code. I am not a coder, right? So let me just go back to preview mode, and there is something called the properties panel. This is your visual editor for all the properties. So in this case, if I again go back to my play music text, it shows the properties of that text widget right here. And again, if I say like, yeah, I change my mind now, it should just be play. Immediately it changed the live preview, right? So this way it is much easier for you to play around with your UI and your logic, because it's changing it in the live preview directly. Okay, so this is great. Now I want to add a music file. Okay, let's see. I will add it as an asset. Okay, uh, so here you also have the themes and everything that you can change, and you have the assets folder. Okay, so let me add an audio file, upload assets. Let's see this one. Okay, now it's uploading the assets, and I don't want to spend time in actually creating the code myself, so I will ask the agent here. Let me close this. Okay, so let's see, we go to this. Okay, yeah. So here I can also add a screenshot to the agent as well if I want, right? Like, hey, I want to change something with this particular screen. As I said, I didn't create any screenshot myself. I just clicked on its button and it actually created a screenshot yourself. And then from the widget as well, say that, oh, this scaffold, add to agent, just to give more context. And I say, add. Okay, let's go back to our assets again and right click, copy path, add this asset to all music files instead of URLs, and make sure the player screen is playing this asset file. Okay, I've added the path of this asset that I just created, and let's hope it changes and then it can play some music. Okay. So what it is doing right now is that it will first read the files, read the context that you have provided. I have provided the screenshot, screenshot. I have provided the widget that I'm talking about, and I also provided the asset path. So now it will search for that, and it will change, the code directly. If you want to see what state management it's using, you will see that it has created a provider, so it is using provider. In your pub spec also, it is using audio players, provider, Google Fonts, etc. So you have information about whatever you need for your project is already there. So there is nothing abstraction. There's no abstraction layer anymore. You have access to whatever you need for that app to build or run, right? So now it's reading bunch of files and reading the assets folder, and then it will update the file. While this is being done, I would want to connect it to a Firebase project, right? So we can do a auth or something just before the onboarding. So here you have the Firebase, and here you also have the Superbase integration. So either you can connect to an existing Firebase project that you already have, that we will be doing right now, or you can connect, or you can create a new Firebase project from Dreamflow itself. Firebase will help you connect to authentication. It will help you connect to a Firestore database, storage, etc. A lot of Firebase services, etc. In a way. So let me connect to Firebase. Okay. Oh, sorry. I don't know. Wait, let me get that done.
So there's one question while you're just sorting it out. Can you add manual dependency instead of asking agent? Is that possible, Pooja? Manually adding
Yes.
dependency. Yep.
Yes, you have access to the code file, right? So in this case, you have the pubspec. You can just add the dependency directly here, and then you have this refresh dependencies button, which says Flutter pubkit, which is exactly what you would have done in a traditional project as well. And yeah, that is, and then just make sure to rebuild your app after you add it. Okay, it is done with the let's see what it did. Okay, it pointed to tracks audio source to the provided asset and switched the audio player to the asset file. So let me just rebuild it. Just making sure. Okay, play. Actually, I think it. I will. Okay, so this is a time that we can show you how to debug as well because we have an error now. So what I can say that, hey, check the logs because the audio play doesn't work. Okay. And once I say that, it also has access to the logs that it just, when you're building the app, it also has access to these logs. So that way it knows exactly what you're talking about in the bug if the logs are printed. So in this case, it says viewing app logs. It has the latest 200 line files. And yeah, now it will try to understand what exactly happened with the error. Okay, while it is fixing it, let's go back to our. I'm sorry that I'm jumping in between with the asset and the Firebase project, but since the agent is generating something, we have got to do something right. So, I mean, why waste time? So, we had connected our account. So, this is connected to our account now. Now, whatever projects are there in your Firebase account, it will show up here, or you can create a new Firebase project. Okay. So I'm just going to find a project in a way. Let's see. So I chose the random project or test project or something. And let's continue with this. So now Dreamflow does all the work to connect to the Firebase project itself. Okay. It takes that work away from you to actually manually connect it. You can still do it if you want to, but it is basically doing it for you. So now with the Firebase connection, it's doing a project setup. And I'm gonna stop the app and restart. Okay. Let's hope it works. All right. Can anyone hear it? Prasad, can you hear it? Yeah. Okay. So the yeah. So now the meditation audio works, and I did not write a single line of code for it. So I just added a audio player package and added given the file. Of course, in a production app, the file will come from your database where you have assigned different files for different meditation cards. Okay, while it is happening, the project setup is still running, right? And let's see, we can ask the agent to first create a login screen. So we are just done with it. So while the Firebase project is connecting, the login UI can be generated with the AI, right? I'm just going to create a new thread because it's a new feature that I'm asking the agent to build. So it's just better to have a new thread. So create a new login screen for now with email, password, login. Follow the same theme of the app. This will be connected with Firebase auth later. So just making it clear that this is just the UI and the logic will be generated later. So now the agent is generating the login screen. And yeah, the Firebase setup takes a bit of time. Oh, it's done. And you can add the target platform. At this point, I just need web for now. So since it's web, the bundle ID is not required. So let me just do configure Firebase, and that's the last step for the Firebase thing. And at the same time, the login screen is also generated. So you see, there's a lot of things are getting done at the same time parallelly. I mean, it's gonna save a lot of time, I feel. So I mean, I always use it as. Yeah, I mean, somebody had asked me, and I actually forgot to answer this question. That does it generate the backend and the front end Dreamflow? Does Dreamflow generate backend and front end together? It does not generate anything for your backend. It only connects to backend services, right? It's mostly to build the mobile specific logic. But what exactly is happening in my current workflows is that I ask the agent to build the logic, and while the agent is building the logic, I then go to my backend services and set up that separately. So parallelly, it's like an intern having an intern build your UI screens for you, and I am being a senior developer here. I'm like, okay, let me set up the backend for now. Okay, so it's pretty cool workflow now because both the things, backend and front end, can happen at the same time. Your agent is building the UI, and backend you have to figure it out right now because yeah, I don't think there's like some breakthrough product for agentic backend yet. I don't know. All right. So Firebase is connected, and you have two things. Right now, you can generate some client code. What it does is that it will generate some code for you to connect to Firebase from your Flutter app, because there's a lot of files that you have to create to connect to the to connect to the Firebase project, right? To connect to the auth, to connect to database and stuff, and it will generate it for you. And meanwhile, the login page is also generating. I'll wait for the login page to generate, just so I know exactly, the agent also knows exactly what auth it is generating for.
So there's
Okay.
one question, Pooja, again related to
Mhm.
education. If app development is so easy, then what will really app developers do in the future, and what will students learn? So
I honestly speaking, it is such a different era since I graduated, and today's graduated students. I think the world is really fast moving at this point. You have to really change. Like the roles also change. Like today, it's not software engineer is probably not the only role that you probably would aim for, right? I also saw this one role somewhere which is like vibe coding cleanup role or something, which is
correct.
like
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy that the roles have completely changed. So you need to change the way you see your career. Today, it is not the same path anymore. You have to figure out, do you want to be a builder, as I said? Do you want to have your own startup, your own product, and figure out what the pathway today is? Or do you want to code because you like coding? But then it will be different kind of coding, right? You might be building for AI companies, their machine learning and stuff like that. You might also like work on much more advanced technologies rather than simply website software engineer, right? Because nobody is, I think today it's very few people who are hiring for website engineers, right? So yeah, I think just it's hard, but you need to like change your pathway. It's not the same anymore as like when we graduated.
But majorly, I guess back when we were in colleges, we had to write everything from scratch. And at least you guys have GPT now. We had Stack Overflow. That was the god for us. So you guys
I
really
mean,
don't know what struggle we have been
yeah,
through to
you have
solve
no idea.
bugs,
Yeah, like I
and you will never
honestly,
know. That is
you will never know. Honestly, I have given exams of coding exams on a paper as well, which means that I had
yeah.
to write code on a paper, and I do not know if it compiles because
Basically,
it's
it's like
on a
a C
paper.
code. We had to write star patterns on paper and structs and
Yes,
everything. But I
yeah.
guess
So you
with
would
this,
never get.
yeah, but I guess with these tools, for the question that you asked, guys, it's majorly like you would have not built this in maybe 1 week if you would writing it from
Mhm.
scratch, to be honest, right? So I guess it is, all these tools are just to help you, you know like they act like a catalyst for you to just speed up the initial process so that you can focus on the main logic and core logic of the product, rather than just building everything by yourself. It is like a helper, as she mentioned, an intern for you guys. So it's not going to take anything from you, and still you need to know Flutter. Or if you're talking about Flutter, because we are learning that, the reason, because if you don't know how things work in Flutter, like you're not being able to debug and find where the error is, or where to add things, where to remove things. So
That's a
learning
good
is still
point.
there. Yeah, but yeah, because that is something I personally experienced, because I did learn Flutter for a couple of months and then I left. And when Dreamflow came in and started to debug, it actually, like, I remembered where to go and edit things. So
Mhm.
like it's like your learning journey becomes faster rather than the college things that we had to go through.
Yeah, I think if you if anyone here is from a computer science background, or whatever computer science patterns you have learned, it is still applicable today. You still want to have clean code, right? You still want to have use the best practices as well. It's just that if you do not have this knowledge, you will never know how to
Hmm,
debug or like what is going
correct.
wrong, right? And I feel like today the era is that we are spending more time in debugging an application than writing an application, right? So I think that's the era today. So definitely to debug you need to know what is wrong, and that's why observing is very important, and learning whatever you are doing with the vibe coding tools is also important. All right, so we already have the login, and I think if I don't know if it is hooked up with the, yeah, so this is your login screen and everything. And if I try to write some, oh wait, this is for sign in, create one, create account coming soon. That's so funny. Okay, I already had like a sign in done. Let me see if it can sign in before that.
So again, this is an example that you need to be very clear with what you want to build, or
Yeah.
AI just going to ignore. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I did not mention sign up, so it was very smart to add a sign up button, but not actually add the implementation for it.
logic. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, sign in did definitely worked because I don't know, it does sign in here. Anyway, so what are we at? Okay, we have a login screen. We have the Firebase. Now we can generate with agent. What it will do is actually set up the Firebase code with your Flutter app, and hopefully also hook up the. Oh, actually, the Firebase shouldn't have worked anyway. Let's. This is going to generate it yourself. I think it was just UI thing. So
Yeah.
now it's connecting to Firebase. Actually, if you see the code, it earlier on it generated just this one file, but now it will generate more files. I think for Firebase auth and stuff. It does not have anything here. Okay, so let's see. Let's have it do something there. And so after this, what I wanted to show is that, having maybe um like, suppose in a real app, if you want to earn from your app, right, you would probably have a paywall screen. You will connect it to revenue card. I mean, we can't connect it to revenue card right now and also like show you the test, because it will, again, these are the things where you realize that not any production app can be done in 20 minutes or in an hour, right? Because there are this background work that you still have to do. I mean, like, you just connecting to App Store and just connecting to Play Store itself takes like 3 days anyway. So those things have not yet been easier yet. So you still will take much lesser time to build the app, but the time to connect to database services or time to connect to like payment services or Play Store and App Store are probably still the same time. It's just a lot of ChatGPT and all that, they help with the connection and help you with debugging that, which is great. So yeah, let's see if we have any question now while it's generating. Android debugging
Mm,
is so hard. Yes.
one thing again for the folks who might be wondering why Pooja started a new thread is, I guess it is better to write different features in different threads so that you can come back to any of the feature. Because I see a lot of students, like, you just keep on writing in the same thread and you just mess up the context of the LLM. So have a habit of segregating your features.
Yeah, I mean, imagine these are three different interns. One intern only knows about your Firebase connection and login authentication. The other intern only knows about your payment subscriptions. So that's the thing. Like, when you talk to one thread, that thread already has context of your previous conversations, right? So it just helps with, like, hey, you did this, now fix it, whatever, right? But if you have like only a single thread, it will just get confused and mess up your code base, because you're talking to that one intern that has no idea about that payment subscription, right? So yeah, good point mentioning that. Yeah. um Prasad, you also want to talk about the certificate? People are asking about that right now. I think a lot
Yep.
of.
So everyone who is a part of this session right now and all the ones who will see this later, so there is a pin link that you can go and mark your attendance. You just need to maybe create an app on Dreamflow and post it on social. Tag Pooja, tag me, tag Dreamflow app. Okay, don't tag Dreamflow. Tag Dreamflow app. Tag LetsUpgrade and write a small, like, don't write that you attended this session. All of that, we would like to know what you understood and what you built using it. Maybe add a sample of your project so that we guys can repost and everything, and just put that link into the form. It's a very small form. Yep, it is. It will. And yeah, post about and just submit it, and we will be issuing certificates in next 2 to 3 days. So that is one thing. And yeah, this session will be there. So if you have any friends, anyone who you think might benefit from them, any Android developers that you know who are struggling with their starting phase, you just share this video to them so that they can come and see this. Yep, that was it. And yep, one uh, one has to have a solid knowledge of application development to wipe code. Again, Solomon, if you talk about wipe code, it is not about understanding of technology, to be honest. It's basically the clarity of the product that you want to build. The more detailed you have it, like, if you can just google out what's a PRD, right? So if you have a detailed PRD and the phases of development, you basically are talking, you can say that you have a very high paid Google software engineer sitting in right front of you, and you just instruct him what you want to get done. So that's what agents will do for you. So, and yeah, you should know development because you need to understand where he is fooling you.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of you are going to make mistakes in your first apps that you build,
Yeah.
and let it happen. Let the mistakes happen. You may publish a app that was wipe coded, and there were like a little architectural issues, and when you scaled it, there was problems because a lot of users and it broke in certain places, blah blah, right? Like, let that happen. because we all went through it anyway. We all went through that, even without vibe coding, like even through traditional coding. So you need to like make the mistakes first to realize that, oh, this is where I need to learn more about how to build like a more scalable architecture. So today you at least are learning such lesser things now because of chat gpt and stuff, right? But you still need to have that a bit of education on, like, how
Correct.
to make this better, how to make that better, because I mean, it's so much easier today. You don't have to learn every freaking technology out there, but we still have to figure out the other things that are not being done by AI, right?
And majorly, guys, there's one Solomon, I guess, exhausted his limits. So again, as I mentioned at the very start of this session, you need to be a good prompter. So
Yeah.
learn about structured prompts, learn about tokenizations, how you can, like, rather than writing rough English, how you can write structured English so that your words repeat, so that the tokens are less. So I made this mistake when I first used Dreamflow. I know I exhausted like within 10 minutes, but the next app was a better one. So you will eventually learn, but yeah, you will get again 10 credits by 1st of October. So you have 10 credits every month. So that should help.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm just checking if this generated something. I'm just going to rebuild this. Oh, sorry. I don't think it hooked up with the logins. Like the Firebase is not hooked up with the login screen probably. But you can always check that. I don't know. This is. It has. Well, let me just talk to the AI and say that login screen should be added to router and lock if no authentication is done. And add logic for create account so users can create account. And that's the thing, like there's a lot of things that it will do half baked things, right? Like you still have to know what your vision of your app is, and then prompt accordingly. So I want to make sure that the login screen comes first, obviously, right? So I'm gonna either do it via code or spend an entire half day on that, or you can just ask the agent as well. Now one more thing I wanted to show as well, that we can show it in a previous prompt, is that there is something called this restore checkpoint, which is something very new. I think it released this week itself, which is that if the agent has created some change that actually ruined your complete logic in a way, because it does that, right? Sometimes it will create some logic that was not expected. You can restore to the code base, to the snapshot of the code base before you added this agent task. So that way you can go back to a previous snapshot where everything worked, which is going to be very useful for everyone, that hey, something broke because of the agent, then you can just go back. Okay, let's see. I think this part is already done. Firebase connection, assets, theme I've showed, fidget tree I've shown. I'm just gonna close this now. So the only thing that we are caring about is now how the authentication is done. And yeah, I could have done another one for the subscription as well, but yeah, we are way over time for sure. Yeah, let's see if there are any questions about what I can. So there is a question about the credits. It depends on. It is not like one credit per prompt. It obviously is. The credits are internally calculating the tokens, that is, using the prompt token. plus the output that it generated, then that token, and then generating the credit based on that. So if I show you the older threads, so let's see if at the end it will show you. Okay, so like the entire Firebase connection was 5.6 credits because it generated a lot of files. It connected the authentication and stuff. So it did with Firebase with 5.6 credits. Then we had the create new login screen, and that was just one credit. That login screen was just one file, right? So it created the login screen with just one credit. And so imagine if you have 10 credits with the free plan. I mean, if you just use five of them just to create screens and all that, I think, yeah, that makes sense. I actually should have shown you even the whole project's credits. Like when we generated the whole project first, it also obviously used some credits, and I should have shown you that. But yeah, I can't find it right now. Okay, it's generating the sign up page. So yeah, while it's generating, we can see if there are any other questions. I
So
see a
they are
lot of
looking for
questions about the
experts.
future opportunities and stuff. Yeah,
So what is better as a future opportunity,
yeah.
development or DS? I would suggest focus on development as of now. Use tools like this to speed your development process, but don't give up development or you're going to get stuck in your career some or other way,
Oh
because
yeah,
you can't.
absolutely.
Because yeah, I have seen people with cursor like heavily dependent on a cursor, less have it going on break time when cursor servers are down. So so
Yeah, I mean, honestly, today's generation, I think we all have like parents who are not very tech savvy, and everyone is struggling who are not tech savvy, who are not, who don't understand how AI models work, who don't understand how this AI era is working, right? Today's generation, I think, who has no idea about, this new technology that has come up, they are really feeling that they are behind on things, on life rather, because everybody is accelerating their career with AI if they know how to use it. And a lot of the people who did not want to learn or did not want to change how they do things are getting behind. So I think if you are a developer, you will understand how these things work, and
hmm,
that way you will be able to even like accelerate your career much better, because it's just, you just know what's happening, you know what's a scam, what's not, right? So it's very important to still be a developer at this point. But yeah, I think it is not like you don't need like 2 degrees for it.
hmm.
Okay, let's see. It did something, so I'm guessing it actually generated the sign up page. I will wait for it to finish compiling the code. And yeah, also, if you want to like run this on a physical device, what I usually do is that, I mean, in the future we will have better tools for it from Dreamflow, but you can just download the code base and run it from, suppose, VS Code or Android Studio or something to your Android iOS simulator or your physical device connected to Android Studio and something. So that is how the current workflow is, but we are changing that and helping people like connect to physical devices easier in the near future soon. Yeah. Okay, I think it, by the way, it created with 1.7 credits, just to let you know, so that you know how much credits are being used. Okay, so if I run this, it all opens the login page now. And if I create it, I have something finally. And I will say that Pooja Stitch is something. Okay. Oh, PV. Oh, okay. Let's see if it generated something here or not. All right. So authentication works. Yay. That is great. and I did not write a single code for it, which is even better. And that means that it works same as this, has no change. And okay, so we did or dependencies, we did authentication with Firebase. We also like changed a lot of UI stuff as well. Um, I wanted, I mean, you can do a bunch of things, like, for example, have like I had this one screen for the you know, paywall, right? So you kind of block your cards, like only show the first card to users, and the rest of the cards will be blocked behind the paywall. So when it, like, it could be blurred, the or something like that. You can have any kind of UI UX there, and then every time the person is clicking on it, you can just yeah, open the paywall. Then you can also ask Dreamflow to connect to revenue cat package as well if you want to do subscriptions, or you can connect to Stripe package to do, you know, payment directly via Stripe as well. So you can just say that, you know, connect with revenue cat purchases package, and add a subscription service or something like that, right? So it will also create that as well. Obviously, we can't test it right now because, again, you need to do something on the revenue cat side as well. But yeah, it will do it for you, all right? So that way you can only focus on the work that needs to be done on the revenue cat side, or App Store side, or Play Store side, which is a lot of work, by the way. So definitely you can do that. um, yeah, Prasad, so what do you think? We should take more questions and then see if,
Yep.
yeah.
Anything else to build, or like we're done with this? Like, you want to show anything
Yeah,
else,
I
or
mean, no, I mean, I showed mostly. I mean, I would have just shown another screen that would have just. I mean, it's not new anymore. I
just
just, like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And you just show
yeah.
them to deploy, so like they're not stuck
Oh
on
yes,
after building how to
of course.
yeah.
So here we have the publish button. Right now, you can do iOS, Android, and web. For now, I'll just do web deployment, and this will build the project and it will deploy it in one of our subdomains. And then later on, you can also connect to your own domain. You can when you do for iOS and Android, you, again, there's some setup that you need to do in App Store, some setup that you need to do in Play Store, create the apps and stuff. They will give you some key IDs, issue ID. You know, you can check that in a way, and then you basically upload all the information here, add the bundle ID, and just one click, it will submit to the App Store, right? And then from the App Store, you can, you know, you want to do test flight or whatever it is, you can do that. Same with Android as well. You can add the service account key that you get from GCP. You can add the bundle ID, the version code, and then when you generate it, you can either download the AAB file from Dreamflow, which you can upload to Play Store directly, or you can submit from here directly from Dreamflow itself. The only caveat is that for Play Store, the first um, the first release should be uploaded manually, and then any releases that happen afterwards, you can just click on this button. So whenever you're ready to release, you update the version code, uh, increment it, and then you submit to Google Play. So that's from the Dreamflow side. That's all you have to do. And then from the Play Store side, you will have to, you know, fill up a lot of forms, see how you're collecting data and everything. There's a lot of stuff you have to do on that side. Again, there's no AI that is helping with that stuff, so you need to spend time on that. um, and I don't know why the web deployment failed, but yeah. Okay, let's let it happen again. Let me try again and see if we have any other questions. And make sure that go on to Product Hunt, and you can get that 50% off for 1 month, so you can play around with more credits. The next plan has 100 credits, so that is a lot of credits for you to build an entire application. it has access to download code, so you can download the code base as well. Yeah, so there's a bunch of things that you can do with the paid plan, which now has a 50% off. So you can try that. All right. All right, let me see the chat a bit as well. If you want to implement custom CI/CD pipeline at this point, we do not have the GitHub integration done yet. As you see, it is kind of coming soon. Once it has, once it is done, you basically can have a custom workflow in GitHub probably, and then just keep on pushing to GitHub once you're done, and then the workflow can run whatever you have set there. But for now, the CI/CD that is happening from the publish button, or you can download the code base or something if you want to do that.
Hmm.
Okay, let me see. What all? Anyone else who does not have question? What do you all think? Are you excited to use Dreamflow? To build your app. I mean, beyond any challenges or competitions, I want to see if you are building apps for your future, for your goals, for your startups. That is the main goal. So if you have an idea, and that you don't have a lot of time, do you think that you can use Dreamflow? And I see my coworker John on the chat. Do we have any docs? Well, yeah, we're releasing it next week. Yes. Uh, okay, deployment is failing right now. I need to see what happens. So,
Maybe try a refresh it. I faced the same issue today morning once. So a whole page refresh usually solves this. Not quite sure why it comes, but mm,
John, I hope you're noting it down.
that is something I also tried to figure out. Like, how do you get started? But yeah. Uh,
Okay.
um, So meanwhile,
I
it's deploying, guys. There's a pinned chat in the chat section. So we have a bigger event. So FlutterFlow, Dreamflow, LetsUpgrade, and a few partners, Divam AI, Parama AI, and all of the Flutter communities across the APAC region are collaborating to do this bigger build fest event where you will see more of these sessions, more detailed sessions on Dreamflow and how you can build amazing, fantastic apps quickly, right? So there's a registration link in the chat pinned, so please go and register, share with your friends, like spread it like fire. We also have a few cool merchandise from FlutterFlow that we're going to give out for everyone who builds cool apps. So the reason we're doing this workshop is like to help you guys prep up so that you stay ahead of the game. So everyone who is missing out on the session does not know how to use it very, like, in a better way to say, right? So you can use this session as a learning tutorial. And at the original build fest we are going to run special campaigns during the session, and if your app stands out, it will be also showcased as app of the month. So you might get a lot of audience to your apps as well. So there's a lot on the plate. Sign up right now if you have not done it. The link is in the pinned chat. Share with your friends and everyone who might benefit from this. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Over to you, Pooja.
Yeah, I am just looking at the chat. I think, yeah, yeah, a lot of people have been experimenting and they have exhausted their credits. Again, definitely know that you have 50% off on Product Hunt right now. I think I'm going to share the link again. Yay, deployment is also successful. Thanks, Prasad. Yeah. Okay, I will
You can give
give
me
them.
10 credits extra for this. I also
Okay,
exhausted mine.
sure. So, oops. Oh, okay. Let's go back to, yeah, okay. I mean, we didn't pull a Mark Zuckerberg today, so I think that's great. I mean, it only failed in the last point, which is great. Okay, I think
So do we
published
need?
here.
Yeah. So just share this link, Pooja. I'll just give it to the chat if that's okay for them to experiment with the app.
Sure, yes. I'm sharing that link. Okay. Responsiveness is something that we will have to work on, but okay, let's go and play some music. All right. I mean, if you guys want to work, like listen to the meditation sound, that also works. So yeah. All right, that's I think what we could do with the time. But I still feel like we built a lot of we can build a lot of features with the agent, the property editor as well. It just accelerates a lot of our workflows. The time for backend and app store and play store connections, those are still not yet solved with agents any right now. So those still take some time, but I think building the core logic, it's so fast now. So I think I definitely feel like you should try it out and see if you can build and turn your idea into a profitable app. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think that's I don't see a lot of questions.
Yeah, if Pooja, if you can just give me the link in the chat, I'll just forward it to YouTube.
I already shared it in the chat.
Mm, in
Can
the
you
YouTube chat,
yeah, can you pin it? It's the last third
and
last.
it's not load. It's not come up on my chat yet. Weird how YouTube
That's
functions.
have I whatever links have I been sending? Nobody has got them
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, I did forward the product hunt link,
Okay,
but
okay. Yeah, I sent you in
Pooja.
the other chat as well, so you can just highlight it. Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just do that. So, yep. So I guess, and yeah, if you guys liked what we did today, right? So please, let's stay on this channel. We'll do a lot of these coming forward. Like going forward, we have a lot of sessions planned on this and a lot of tools, right? Just show one slide. I'm not very sure if it would load. Uh, I'm just going to share the build fest slide if you have
Hmm.
it handy.
I don't. Sorry.
It's actually taking a lot of time on my laptop.
Is it my network or am I losing you?
Yep, guys. Again, don't forget to post about what you learned today. Tag LetsUpgrade, tag Dreamflow App, am I audible at least?
Yes, but you're breaking for me at least. I don't know. Can anyone in chat tell me if they can hear Prasad?
I believe it was something to do with me trying to load Canva all over again.
Okay.
So I'll
Uh,
just let me just open the file real quick.
I've also provided the link to our Reddit community where you can post some feedback questions or like ask your other community members to solve problems as well. So yeah.
Mm,
Okay. You all the chat can hear me, right? I think.
yes.
Okay, yeah, I think you were breaking out. So yeah, okay, we have it on screen now.
Yep. So guys, here it is. So exactly 1 week from today, we have the bigger event. So try experimenting with Dreamflow, but I would suggest try learning prompt engineering first, so you don't max out your credits just before the competition. Yep.
Yeah.
And there's a sign in QR. Just scan the QR. The link is in the chat. And yeah, well, I guess that was all. I hope you guys had fun. So just show some purple hearts in the chat if you actually liked what Pooja. uh, yeah, she did a wonderful job. We built a meditation app in, I guess, half an hour. We actually, the building time was hardly half an hour. uh, so there's, hey Prasad, do you have any plan for organization? Not quite sure with the, like, what question it was. If you could just reframe. uh, it would be great to have a telegram group. So I guess Dreamflow has their community and Let's Upgrade has their own channel. So we do partnered with them for a lot of things. I am the co-organizer of their FlutterFlow developer groups Mumbai, me and Prashant. So we are connected. So if you need anything, you can either join FlutterFlow communities, you can join our community, Let's Upgrade. So yes, what I can do as an ambassador program. uh Pooja.
I don't know what the question is. We don't have any
Again,
ambassador program for Dreamflow, so
yeah, okay, might be for Let's Upgrade ambassador program. So you get, if you are talking about LU ambassador program, you get similar sessions but only for exclusive crowds. You get hackathons, a lot of things. Just check it out on the website. Okay, I see a lot of purple arts. I guess that was all for today. I guess wonderful session. Thank you, Pooja, for your time, and thank you everyone in the chat who stayed back while we were solving errors. And I hope to see a lot of
that's part of
posts
the
from you guys.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah, all the links to the communities if possible. Okay, I'll just share one link. Just a minute, the easiest one, and we will drop everything there. Just join our channel, because we don't have, I'm not sure if we have one for Flutterflow yet, sorry, Dreamflow yet. Or you can just sign up for the Dreamflow Build Fest. We will have your details, you will get everything on your mail and everything. So that is a better way. Yep. So yeah, bye bye, have a good day, have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for staying back and seeing the app being built. And yeah, I am so excited to see what you all build. And hopefully, there will be a lot of, I don't know, founders coming out from the session, maybe. Who knows? Let's see.
Yeah,
All
and do
right.
remember us, okay, if you guys create a company.
Yeah. We want some commission then.
Yeah, see you guys,
Okay.
bye bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Yep, it's done.
Done.